Unifor itself is the worst. Jerry Diaz's union itself is a job killer. Here's a press release 2 years ago by Unifor itself. Let me read it to you. Unifor is disappointed with the National Energy Board's short-sighted decision to support the Trans Mountain Expansion project, one that poses risks for the economy, Canadian jobs, and food security. Oh, food security, eh? The Kinder Morgan expansion project is all risk and no gain for the public or our environment, said Joie Warnock, Unifor's Western director. Despite applying conditions for approval, in the absence of any realistic enforceable regulations, the NEB failed to consider the very serious risks a project of this magnitude has for residents and our economy. Oh, so even though it was approved as safe by experts, by neutral experts, by Trudeau's experts, Unifor campaigned against it. They helped destroy it. And here's Unifor now actually going to court to stop the Northern Gateway pipeline. Let me show you another press release they put out a couple years back. The process was rigged from the start, and it ignored important testimony from Canadians, said Joie Warnock, Unifor's Western director. If Stephen Harper refuses to protect our coast, we have no choice but to fight him in court. Unifor went to court to stop a jobs project in Western Canada. Here's Unifor on the Keystone XL pipeline. Ready? Canadians don't benefit from pipelines that ship unrefined oil to other countries, plain and simple, said Unifor National President Jerry Diaz told the union's BC Regional Council in Vancouver. Keystone XL, Northern Gateway, and the new Kinder Morgan pipeline all have one thing in common. They steal Canada's natural resource wealth and leave us with nothing to show for it. Unifor is calling on the federal government to enforce greenhouse gas emission targets by limiting the future expansion of bitumen production. Really, eh? When was the last time there was a carbon emissions analysis of an auto factory? When was the last time you had union bosses from Alberta flying out to Ontario to campaign against car factories or even sue them? When was the last time you had extremists in cabinet call for a gender analysis of a car factory like that clown Catherine McKenna does for pipelines? It's a sign of how broken Canada is that not just union bosses, but the media and the courts and political leaders and civil society, including charities, take it for granted that it's okay to attack oil and gas jobs and to campaign and sue and protest oil and gas jobs into submission, but God forbid a car company wants to move away from Trudeau's uncompetitive tax regime. Well, it's a national crisis, and Trudeau had better come in with a bailout. Yeah, I'm sympathetic. I truly am sympathetic to those 2,800 families. I really am. But I'm 40 times more sympathetic to the 100,000 oil and gas families who were attacked by Trudeau and Butts and McKenna and Morneau. Oh yeah, and Jerry Diaz and his dues-paying Unifor union members. Yeah, I'll get around to laying a wreath for those dead jobs in Oshawa once I'm done going through the other 100,000 dead jobs that Unifor itself helped cause. Without a peep of protest, I should add, from those 2,800 union members whose dues were weaponized against the oil and gas industry. That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show, weekdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every day I do a monologue, interview a guest, and read my fan mail and my hate mail. To subscribe, go to therebel.media/shows.